Hi miss, how much is this?
So the total is 1,000 ringgit? 1,000 ringgit?
So expensive!
Hi, my name is Iris Juita Hardi Imran Hardi, student ID 2024644392, and these are my group members. So today we are going to tell you why this happens.
Okay, real talk. Why does it feel like money just vanished this day? You go out with 50 ringgit, blink once, and suddenly gone. That's inflation. And lately, inflation has been hitting us through things we literally cannot avoid in daily life. The biggest increase came from personal care, social protection, and miscellaneous goods, which jumped by 4.8%. That means haircuts, childcare, insurance, grooming, and even basic household service all cost more now. This is what economists call cost push inflation. Basically, when companies pay more for labor and operating costs, they push those costs onto us. So yeah, we are the ones paying the price. And don't even get me started on food. Food and beverage went up to 2.1%. Food is a non-discretionary goods, meaning you can just skip it. You still need to eat no matter how bad inflation is. When food price rise, household spending increase, purchasing power drops, and lower income household feels the impact the most. Then there is housing. The category covering housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels increased by 1.5%. Higher rent, higher utility bills, higher food costs, just living at home is more expensive now. Healthcare also joined the struggle. The health category rose by 1.3% as medical service, medicine, and healthcare products become pricier. So households are forced to spend more just to stay healthy. Even transport, which increased by only 0.7%, still adds pressure through higher fuel prices, vehicle maintenance, and public transport fares. So yeah, even though some increase looks small, once you add everything together, the cost of living shoots up. Inflation doesn't just make things expensive, it slowly eats away our real income, which explains why we are broke, tired, and still wondering where our money went.
Next, we will explain why inflation happened in Malaysia in September 2025. According to the article, inflation during this period was mainly caused by higher costs faced by businesses, not because of strong consumer demand. Malaysia's inflation rate increased to 1.5% year on year, mainly due to raising production and operating costs. When business face higher costs such as utilities and production expenses, they usually pass these costs on the consumer. As the result, prices of goods and services increase, which then affect how much consumers spend. In addition, food prices also increase, contributed to inflation. Food is a basic necessity. So even a small increase in food prices can even have a big impact in household spending. Moreover, inflation was more noticeable in a certain sector, especially food, housing, utilities, and personal care, rather than across all goods and services. This shows that inflation during this period was mainly caused by cost push factors. Meanwhile, demand pull factors, which are related to strong consumer demands, were limited. To conclude, raising business costs and higher prices is essential goods were the main reasons for inflation in Malaysia in 2025 September.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about inflation and how it affects our economy, both the goods and the bad. Let's start with the positive effect. So when prices go up, it actually shows that the economy is active. Business can make more money, which means they can invest in new projects and even hire more people. That's a win for jobs. Inflation also encourages people to spend rather than wait because they know price might rise later. Business benefit too. They can charge more for their product, cover costs, improve profit, and maybe even upgrade technologies. Plus, inflation helps prevent deflations, which can slow down economic growth. Another bonus, inflation can increase the value of assets like stock or real estate. Investors see this a change to protect their money, which boosts confidence and encourage more investment. But of course, this mainly benefits people who already own these assets. Now, Let's talk about the negative sides. Inflation makes living costs go up, especially for essential like food, housing, and healthcare. This means people can buy less with the same amount of money, which can lower their standard of living. It also creates uncertainty in the economy, which can discourage investment. And here is something important. People with fixed incomes like students, retired or saver are hit harder. Their money doesn't grow with price, so they can't buy as much as before. Even saving lost value over time, making it harder to plan for things like education or retirement. So, in short, moderate inflation can be good for spending, investment, and economic growth. But too much inflation, so in short, moderate inflation can be good for spending, investment, and economic growth. But too much inflation can make life more expensive and create challenge, especially for those who don't have flexible income.
So, for the last part, we will discuss about how are we going to control inflation. So, think of inflation like prices running too fast. To slow them down, the government and central bank use three main methods, which is contractionary fiscal policy, contractionary monetary policy, and also direct control. So the first one is contractionary fiscal policy, which is managed by the government. When inflation rises because people are spending too much or government spending is high, the government reduces spending, cuts subsidies, increase taxes, or delays projects. In our case study, prices increase in areas like foods, housing, transportation, and personal care. By reducing government support, people have less disposable income, so the demand in economy will fall and the prices will start to stabilize. Next is contractionary monetary policy, controlled by Bank Negara Malaysia. When inflation increases, Bank Negara Malaysia raises the interest rate. Higher interest rates make loans more expensive, so households and businesses borrow and spend less. At the same time, saving becomes more attractive. As spending and investment slow down, demand decreases and inflation starts to moderate. This policy helps maintain price stability. The final method is direct control, which works the fastest. Here, the government directly controls prices of essential goods by using price ceilings, subsidies, and import controls. This prevents sellers from raising prices too high and help keep basic goods affordable, especially fuel and transportation. So, in conclusion, inflation can be controlled by reducing spending through fiscal policy, reducing borrowing through monetary policy, and stabilizing essential prices through direct control. Together, this method help keep inflation under control and economy stabilized. So, that is it from us. Thank you for watching.
In conclusion, Malaysia's inflation rate of 1.5% in September 2025 shows that the price increases remain moderate but continue to affect the cost of living, especially for essential goods and services such as food, housing, healthcare, and transportation. The rise in inflation during this period was mainly driven by cost-push factors including higher production, utility, and operating costs, rather than strong consumer demand. While inflation can support economic growth and business activity, it also reduces purchasing power and places financial pressure on households, particularly fixed income earners. Therefore, coordination of contractionary fiscal policy, contractionary monetary policy, and direct control measures is crucial to stabilize prices, protect consumers, and ensure sustainable economic growth in Malaysia.